TIM stands for Traffic Incident Management. It's a process by which you're applying techniques to reopen the roadway. It's about responder safety, making sure if you're responding to an incident, what's the best position for your vehicle to be in to protect both the responders and the people involved. It's about quick clearance. You don't want to be on these roadways any longer than you have to. You really want to get in, clean up the accident, provide whatever medical or support you can, and then get off the roadway. And then finally, it's about communication, making sure that police, fire, EMS, and us at the DOT are all talking to each other.
My name is Jim Burley. I'm the chief of the Belmar Fire Department. We have a group that's put together, the Safer Task Force, that we've been operating in this area of all the entities. We meet quarterly. We come together, we bring ideas together, we train together to provide a safer working atmosphere for all the entities out there.
The department works with all of its partners, both in law enforcement, the fire service, EMS, and even our towing partners, to be able to train responders about how to effectively and safely work on the road. That's the TIM training program that we sponsor at various agency training facilities. We can do it at DOT facilities. And essentially, it's a classroom training where we go through PowerPoint slides discussing scene safety, communication, risk management. We want to make sure that everyone understands the dangers that are present on the roadway when you're working.
You're the incident commander. Anybody that comes to that scene, if somebody stops their car to get out of their car to see what's going on in that accident, they belong to us now. It's our job to protect them somehow.
And then we walk into various scenarios such as tabletop exercises, where we'll lay out scenarios onto large maps that we've laced on tables to be able to say, okay, put into practice what you've just learned on the PowerPoint.
You guys are really the ones now coming together and saying where you're going to go.
We try to do something outside. We like to give people the visual, not just on the table and not just in the PowerPoint, but what's outside? What happens when you have these large incidents? How do you set up scene safety? How do you give advanced notice to those people who are driving down the roadway? Emergency scene ahead. You start seeing cones. What does that mean? It really gets people's attention when you combine all three aspects of the training.
The Department of Transportation Safety Service Patrol enhances the safety of the emergency responders and the motoring public greatly. They're able to do lane closures with tapers, with cones, advanced warning. They're able to set up a lot sooner, a lot quicker for the incident, which mitigates secondary accidents from occurring out there, which we often saw before this program was in place.
Other hazards we face are traffic. Traffic's been a huge factor with us in the last few years since we had a line of duty death caused by one of our firefighters being struck by a vehicle. Our department mandated us to have the TIMS training.
Typically the incidents involve traffic-related matters, fatal accidents, downed utility poles, truck hazmat spills, anything and everything that affects the traveling public moving through a DOT roadway. So really, from our perspective, it really doesn't even matter what the incident is. We are concerned with the traffic and the movement of traffic through and around these incidents, as well as the first responder safety, the people that are responding to these incidents, to keep them safe from the motorists and other vehicles in the area. We are generally called from what we call the STMC. It's the Statewide Traffic Management Center in Woodbridge. The dispatchers there will advise us that there is what we would call a major incident, an incident that's going to involve more than 2 hours of traffic impact to a given roadway.
When you're talking about TIM training and the interaction with the Statewide Traffic Management Center, it really makes sense to tie the picture together. They have hundreds of cameras to be able to view an accident, report it to responding entities, and tell them what's blocked before they can even arrive on scene. So it's really kind of like advanced notice. We call the traffic operations centers our nerve centers. They're the place where all the information comes in and then gets sent back out. So really, it's the hub of information.
Here in the Traffic Management Center, we have our dispatchers, and their responsibility is talking to the people out in the field. Next level is the operator. And the operator is using the cameras, using the variable message signs, using some of the different ITS equipment that we have, as well as putting messages up on the signs.
To maintain a safe environment for not only the motoring public, but for the emergency responders also, would be one, don't drive while you're impaired. 2, put the cell phone down, do not text and drive. And the third one would be slow down and move over. If you see an emergency vehicle, if you see a tower on the side of the road, slow down and move over.